What's on, guys? Just here back to my channel. Tonight I'll be doing a review for WWE Monday Night Raw and stuff. It was a good show tonight and stuff. And anyways, let's get to it then with the Ring General Manager. The King General Manager Gunther kicks off the show. After the highlight package wraps up, we see a shot of Liv Morgan arriving to the building with her newly won WWE Women's World Championship. We also see Becky Lynch's rival from earlier today as Monaco Pat McAfee promote their steel cage rematch for the title tonight. Inside the N Market Arena in Savannah, Georgia, Ludwig Kaiser is standing in the ring with the big spotlight for his accent-heavy introduction of the ring General Gunther. Out comes the 2024 WWE King of the Ring to kick off this week's show. Cole mentions he is the 23rd King of the Ring. He talks about the controversy with Randy Orton and the pin at the end of their bout and his title shot for WWE SummerSlam. Gunther sells in the ring with his crown to a ton of boos and chants of "You suck, you suck, we want Randy, we want Randy." He milks the moment before finally speaking. He brings up winning the King of the Ring and his title shot at SummerSlam. He says, "Let's talk about our WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Damien Priest." He talks about Priest taking the reins of the Judgment Day in Rhea Ripley's absence. He says he respects that. He talks about raising the profile and prestige of the WWE Intercontinental Championship and says he plans to do the same with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship after Priest used the shortcut to earn the title, referring to cashing in his Money in the Bank contract. Before he can say anything further, the theme for the Judgment Day hits. Out comes WWE World Heavyweight Champion Damien Priest, accompanied by JD McDonagh and Finn Balor. They walk with him to the ring, but then leave, as does Kaiser, giving fans the one-on-one image of Priest and Gunther. Priest says he earned the Money in the Bank contract by retrieving a briefcase in a ladder match. He says that's how that works. The same way you win a traditional match to earn a title shot and then the title itself. He says if Gunther understood how business works around here, he says he does, and says business this summer will be him challenging him for that title at SummerSlam. He tells him to give him his business lesson, and now and address him as king, or after SummerSlam, he can address him as a champion. As champion, Priest asks Gunther, as your world champion, what can he teach him that he doesn't already know? Priest says the two are going to go to war at SummerSlam, but before he can say anything else, we hear the sword swipe and out comes Drew McIntyre. The current number one contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and Priest takes next challenger for WWE Clash of the Castle, Scotland in his home country, makes his way to the ring. He gets in Gunther's face and smirks. He walks past him and grabs the mic. Fans chant CM Punk loud enough we can hear it over McIntyre's loud music. McIntyre asks if he minds if he addresses the chants or they're not going to stop. He talks about trash. He talks some trash about Punk off the cuff for a quick second and then moves on to the business at hand. He tells them they do realize he's going to be champion in less than 3 weeks, so it'll be he who goes into SummerSlam with the title. Priest says he's not looking past Drew, he just knows what's going to happen. Drew tells Gunther no one from the UK has won the world title other than him, and he's done it 3 times and will do it a 4th at WWE Clash at the Castle, Scotland. The fans chant USA at him, and Drew points out he's an American citizen. He's just stating facts. Priest asks Drew if his wife will be at Clash at the Castle. Drew tells him to watch his words. Alright, so I have a first match coming up in a little bit. Priest says he wanted to see if he could get under his skin and if Drew would actually do anything about it. As they continue to talk, the theme for Braun Strowman hits, and he is tutoring as Pat McAfee calls him a big son of a bitch. He goes one-on-one against a small son of a bitch, JD McDonagh. When we return on that note, we head to a quick commercial break. So the first match is Braun Strowman versus JD McDonagh. When we return from the break, we see Strowman, McDonagh, and Progress. McAfee talks about McDonagh's pooping his trousers as a monster among men hoists the Judgment Day member high in the air before Donkey Konging him down to the mat. He continues to manhandle him until Finn Balor starts to play a factor by interfering and providing distractions at ringside on the apron. McDonagh takes over and focuses on his offensive attack on the leg of the big man in an attempt to chop him down to size. In the end, despite additional interference from Balor and even Carlito, who ran down Strowman, still got the win. McDonagh, Balor, and Carlito attack him, but he fights back and chases them off. They're marking his interview backstage about the cage match tonight, and we head to another break. So winner is Braun Strowman. Alright, next match coming up is Ricochet, Ilja, Dragunov. We're going to receive footage of Braun Strowman's, Braun Breaker's recent random attacks backstage, and the one in his latest match that sent his opponent to the hospital on a stretcher. We returned to earlier today footage of Ricochet being checked by doctors after taking a spear last week from Breaker. Adam Pearce walks in. Ricochet wants him tonight. Pearce says Breaker is suspended. Dragunov comes in and thanks Ricochet for taking the bullet for him from Breaker. Ricochet wants him tonight. Dragunov says he breaks people. He doesn't fight broken people. Ricochet says he's been cleared and tells Pearce to make it happen. Pearce does. Back inside the arena, Ricochet's theme hits, and out comes the WWE Speed Champion without his belt. Way to promote the new show and profile of the new title guys as he settles in the ring. We shake gears and head to a pre-match commercial break. When we return, Ilja Dragunov makes his red light ring entrance, leading the music like a conductor. As always, the bell sounds and off we go. Ricochet is heavily taped around his ribs and suddenly before Ilja even touches him. After Ricochet starts strong, Dragunov takes over and yells at Ricochet that he wanted this as he beats him down. The two have an excellent back and forth battle, and after a mid-match commercial break, we return. We see Braun Breaker hit the ring and take both guys out with spears. Cole points out Breaker is suspended and not even supposed to be here. Oh, come on. Alright, so Raw General Manager Adam Pearce runs down and gets in Breaker's face and yells at him, asking him what he's doing here. Breaker smiles and turns and walks away as Pearce follows behind him, scolding him like a child. Braun stops, strokes his beard, and turns and looks at Pearce with a very stern look. Pearce wisely shuts up. Breaker heads to the back as we head to another commercial break. So winner is no contest. Our next match is AOP versus the Creed Brothers. We return to an outside ice cream truck segment with R-Truth, The Miz, New Day, and Karrion Kross for WWE's history of a whole lot of just god-awful bad comedy segments. This was legitimately as good as any SNL sketch in recent memory. Literally all of them delivered in their roles. Essentially, Kross wants Xavier Woods to forget the New Day stuff and join the final participants so he can finally shine. Woods turned down the offer, and AOP versus New Day appears set for next week. Back live inside the arena, the Creed Brothers come to the ring for tag team action against AOP, who are already in the ring. The four guys brawl to start this off, and AOP take the early offensive lead. Julius Creed helps the Creed Brothers fight into the offensive lead after a few minutes. Scarlett drives Ivy Nile into the stats at ringside, distracting the Creed Brothers as they were going for the Bruiser Brawl. AOP takes over and hit their What a Rush finisher for the win. So winners are AOP. Alright, backstage, Rey Mysterio talks about Carlito turning on the LWO. He tells him he can try to run to the Judgment Day all he wants, but things aren't over between them. He plans to send a message to them when they have their match later tonight. We see Braun Strowman still angry, looking for JD McDonagh backstage. He charges past Sheamus in street clothes, lost in thought, and we move on to a Memorial Day video patch. When it wraps up, we head to a break. Alright, so Sheamus have a little promo segment and stuff. When we return, Sheamus' theme hits, and now he comes to the ring. What's the crack, Savannah? He begins whatever that means. He then talks about King of the Ring, King and Queen of the ring, PLE featuring banger after banger after banger, but no Drew McIntyre. No, but he said no, but no Sheamus. I was like, oh, he talks about Gunther's coat rack and King's court jester Ludwig Kaiser talking trash about him while he was home. Sheamus says he's back and tells the fella he's coming for him. As he continues talking, he is cut off by Kaiser, who appears on the big screen from backstage. Kaiser talks trash about Sheamus being old, and Sheamus cuts him off and tells him to shut his blatant mouth. He storms off to the back to look for him, and the camera follows him as he does. Kaiser ends up attacking the Celtic Warrior from behind, knocking him into a bunch of technical stuff. They fight back into the arena and the crowd. The fans go wild as they push, pull, and swing as their hats come off. Hair gets messed up. Security rushes them to pull them apart as the segment fades out to end. Alright, next match is Kairi Sane versus Lyra Valkyria. Backstage, we see Lyra Valkyria looking bummed out in her locker room. Becky Lynch comes in and relates to her after losing her title and says, "You either win or learn." They bump fists and Lynch walks off back inside the arena. Kairi Sane makes her way out to the ring, accompanied by Dakota Kai. As the Damage Control member makes her way to the ring for one-on-one action against the 2024 WWE Queen of the Ring runner-up and formal NXT Women's Champion, we shift gears and head into a quick pre-match commercial break. When we return, we see Valkyria make her way out. The bell sounds to get this one going. Early on, we see Lyra being down by Sane. Lyra's taped up like Ricochet was earlier, and we see footage of why as the finish to her Queen of the Ring bout with Nia Jax from Saturday is shown in super slow motion. Sane dominates the entire match until Lyra rolls her up for the win out of nowhere, like Gunther did Orton over the weekend. So winner is Lyra Valkyria. Alright, next match is Rey Mysterio versus Carlito. Backstage, we see Ricochet in Judgment Day Clubhouse, where Damian Priest sends Carlito packing because he's not part of the Judgment Day. Carlito asks Finn Balor if he's going to have his back out there tonight. Balor says he will. Priest asks where JD McDonagh is. McDonagh shows up and says he had Braun Strowman chase him around the building. Priest then sees Dominic show up and asks about with Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch in Saudi Arabia. Dom says he messed up, but continues talking as we fade inside the arena. Rey Mysterio's Demon Heads and the WWE Hall of Fame legend heads to the ring for our next match of the evening. As he does, we head into a pre-match commercial break. When we return, we see Yo Sky looking upset in the Damage Control locker room, and comes Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai fresh off of Sane's defeat. Lyra Valkyria Sky pops up and throws a temper tantrum to end all temper tantrums. She storms past the two and walks away. Back inside the arena, Carlito's Demon Heads, and now he comes looking behind him to see if he's got backup. He does not. He sells in the ring and stands across from his former AEW pals. The bell sounds official on this one. Carlito immediately exits the ring and tries avoiding Rey. Rey heads out after him, and the fight is on. Back in the ring, Carlito takes over the two fight back and forth, and what turns into a pretty good match, which sees Finn Balor try and run into effect, but Mysterio gets the W. After the match, however, all hell breaks loose. Rey tries going after Balor at ringside, but Damian Priest lives up to his words from earlier and says it's time for him to set an example. He does that by cleaning house afterwards. He looks at Balor and McDonagh disappointed. So winner is Rey Mysterio. Our next match is Big Bronson Reed versus Otis. Backstage, we see Chad Gable telling Akira Tozawa he could have used his help in Saudi Arabia over the weekend. Walks Otis, who says he has 3 brain cells. He tells him he's going to give him a chance to redeem himself and not to screw it up. He makes his way no matter what when talking about his match against Big Bronson Reed. Inside the arena, Reed's theme hits, and now comes the match Tsunami ready for action in our next match of the evening. As he sells in the ring, we shift gears and head to a pre-match commercial break. We'll return Alpha Academy tune hits, and out comes Otis, accompanied by Chad Gable, yelling in his ear as they walk to the ring. The bell sound for Strowman this one. We see Reed get the early jump on the big man after their nearly identical tale of the tape is shown. Two big boys, and on this one, folks, after the early dominance from Reed, we see Otis take over. He sets up for the cow pier, but Gabe yells at him not to. He goes to do it anyway, and it backfires, and Reed gets the tsunami for the win. Alright, so winner is Big Bronson Reed. Alright, after the match, Otis goes to head to the back ejected, but Chad Gable jumps on the mic and yells at him to get back in the ring. He demands Maxine Dupree and Akira Tozawa get out here as well. As they do, we shift gears and head to a commercial break. When we return, Cole says Alpha Academy meeting now underway. Gable begins lecturing them as they stand in line. He tells Otis he's been trying to get through to him but can't find a way. He thinks he has an idea how to do it. He tells Otis he lacks discipline. He takes his belt off. He tells him to go grab the ropes. He says this is going to hurt you a lot more than me. Otis hesitates but obliges. Gable goes to rear back and whip him like a child, but Maxine steps forward and grabs Gable's arm to stop him. She turns to walk out, and Sami Zayn's theme hits. Out comes the WWE Intercontinental Champion, who acknowledges Maxine as she heads to the back and he heads to the ring. Gable warns Zayn to leave. Gable tells Zayn not to take one more step. Zayn takes two more and asks Gable what he's going to do. He asks if Gable thinks he's tough. He says he's not. He's weak. He's a weak little man. He says he's manipulated his way into opportunity after opportunity at the IC title and came up short every time and looked for excuse and pointed fingers. Chad says he beat Zayn last week and would have won on Saturday if it wasn't for the idiot Otis. He says so. He hits his discipline wears back to whip him again, but this time Zayn grabs Gable's arm to stop him. He takes the belt from him. He tells Otis to stop listening to Gable and start listening to the people. The people give him a huge pop and chant his name. Sami tells Otis if he can't hear that, listen to his heart. He says he knows the right thing to do. In mid-sentence, Zayn gets dagged by a big punch from Gable. Zayn fights back and gets Gable out of the picture, and then lectures Otis off mic until Gable grabs him from behind and suplexes him. Gable unloads on Zayn with punches as fans chant, "You suck." Otis looks like he's going to do something, but it doesn't. Gable grabs Sami's IC title and holds it high. He goes over and yells at Otis off mic. Some more and then exits the ring. He turns around and looks for Alpha Academy to follow him. Akira does. He yells at Otis to do the same. Otis hesitates, but does. Alright, next main event time finally. WWE Women's World Championship match, steel cage match. Liv Morgan, who is a champion, versus Becky Lynch. Main event time. We see an elaborate video package looking at the Liv Morgan revenge tour since she returned to WWE from injury. We see her taking out Rhea Ripley and entering her ultimately the WWE Women's World Championship thanks to Dominic Mysterio at WWE Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia this past weekend. After the package wraps up, we see Liv wearing her towel and her ring gear, stretching in locking in her locker. We see Becky Lynch in her ring gear stretching in the hallway. Backstage as well. Back inside the arena, ominous music plays and light flash as the steel cage is lowered over the ring. Michael hypes up the title till coming up next. On that note, we should get into pre-match commercial break. Momentarily, we see Sonya Deville approach Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark to inform them they will be women's tag champs, but not without her help. She says the locker room doesn't respect her. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn come up and distract them to prove her point. Back inside the arena, Cole McAfee hyped the cage match main event as the cage is finished being lowered over the ring announced for next week's Raw. And Hershey, PA, Sheamus, blah blah. Alright, the theme for Becky Lynch hits, and out comes the man. The theme for Liv Morgan hits, Out comes the new reigning defending WWE Women's World Champion for her first title defense since capturing the title from Lynch this past Saturday afternoon in Saudi Arabia. As the two settle inside the cage enclosed ring, we head to another pre-match commercial break before things get started. When we return, we see the match started during the break, and the action is now in progress. Liv smashes Lynch's face into the cage and yells "Hi Rhea" to send a message to Ripley at home, who she injured and cost the WWE Women's World Championship, which she now owns. Liv slams Lynch's face off the cage as the two stand on the top rope. She flings Lynch back off the ropes and she crashes and burns on the mat down below. Liv goes back to work on her and she sells into a comfortable early offensive lead. Lynch fights back briefly, but Liv slams her face first into the cage. Both women are down and recovering as we head to mid-match break. When we return, we see more back for action, and then Liv go for Oblivion, only for Lynch to avoid it and counter it. Liv and his disarm her submission. The ropes. Liv slams Lynch into the cage to escape from the hole. Alright, Dominic runs out and the crowd boos. Out comes JD and Finn asking what he's doing. Braun Strowman knows where JD is now, so his team hits and he charges out after him, running him off to the back. Meanwhile, Liv escapes the cage and wins to retain. She grabs her title and heads to the ramp, stopping to smile at Dom, who is snarling back at her. That's how this week's show goes off the air. So whatever. So winner is still WWE Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. All right, good show tonight and stuff. So anyway, that was good and stuff. And man, I look such a mess looking at myself. Anyways, yeah, it was a good show tonight. Not too bad. There were some good matches on there, but not all. But anyways, all right. So anyways, that was it for this video, and hope you like, subscribe, favorite, hit that bell button, or leave a comment or whatever. If not, I don't care what you guys do. But anyways, that was it, and I see you guys for AEW Dynamite review. All right. So see you guys in the next video. Laters.